Hi, everybody. This is episode 60 of the Alfie Whattam Technology podcast. As always, we are sponsored by Alpha Technology. If you're a software developer looking for your next opportunity in the UK, or if you're a software development manager or a CTO or a company looking to hire the best engineers on the market, then we love Alpha, spell alfa.com, is the place where you need to go to find the talent that you need and the opportunities that you need to grow your career and your team. Today, I'm joined by Olga. Olga, do you want to just give us a 30-second intro and tell us who you are and what your story is?
Hello, my name is Olga. I'm currently working as software engineering manager in Tweet company. We're doing one of the best software to convert speech to text, and after that help the user of this to create the best content using this text they produce. So that's about me.
The speech to text area is something that's always fascinated me, and at the moment I find that on like an iPhone, for example, a couple of years ago it was very primitive, like it didn't really have much of accuracy, but now it's much better.
Yeah, absolutely right. And because it's all built now under AI, it's evolving every time when somebody else doing this conversion. So it's really great.
Just gets better and better. That's awesome. Cool. Well, thanks for joining me today to talk about some of the topics in the world of tech that have been happening in the past couple of weeks. So let's get started with what's happening over at Twitter. So can you see that on the screen?
Yeah.
Awesome. So what Twitter's move to shutter offices signals for big tech. So companies are cutting costs by embracing remote setups, but what happens to the hubs they leave behind? So in the news, Twitter executives can currently travel the world by globetrotting among the company's 38 offices, from San Fran to Sydney to Seoul to New Delhi to London and Dublin and more, but not for much longer. On July 27th, the company sent a memo to employees, which has been leaked, saying that an office in San Fran would be shuttered. Plans for a new office in Cali would be abandoned, and the future of 7 locations was being carefully considered, all as part of a cost-cutting scheme, and 5 other offices globally would be downsized, all in an attempt to prepare the company for purchase by Mr. Musk and to tighten the expenditure as much as possible. Yeah, Elon strikes me as the kind of guy that doesn't want to waste money. So yeah, that's absolutely in line with the acquisition. Twitter, obviously not the first to cut down its office space. In early June, Yahoo was rumored to get rid of 650,000 square foot San Jose campus, which only completed at the end of 2021. So it's basically brand new. And they're also getting rid of that as well. Same with Netflix, which are also getting rid of a big part in California, and even Salesforce, who put their San Fran tower up for sublease. So lots happening in the world of, I suppose, remote working, driving this after COVID. What are your thoughts, Olga, on working from home and remote working?
I think that's interesting how people can adapt to pretty much everything, and after that start to enjoy. No, they just adapted and probably complained it on start. So based on my experience, when pandemic started and we all moved to work remotely, some people enjoyed it straight away. Some people complained on start. But now when pandemic is over and a lot of companies, including, for example, Trint, in Trint, we have a policy to work 2 times per week from the office. So that wasn't actually accepted very good on start by everybody. So people said, we perform very good working remotely. Why should we come back to the office now? So it's interesting that exactly the same thing now accepting differently, like completely different emotions about exactly the same situation.
Yeah, no, it's interesting to see how much it's changed just over the past 2 years. I mean, obviously, when COVID happened, we went fully remote, and then for whatever reason, that might have impacted the culture, the stickiness of the team. So companies have started to try and bring people back. And there's been the extreme example, like Elon Musk, who have said everybody's got to be in 5 days a week, and that's led to a lot of people quitting. Then you've got, you know, other companies like Twitter here that are doing more of a hybrid approach. But I feel like just the need to have that much office space is no longer required, because even when you've got people in the office, you don't have everybody in the office, so all the desks are not going to be full, right?
Yeah, but it's interesting. So I can share my personal experience.
Sure.
I have 15, my desktop is quite large. Oh, sorry, not desktop, the laptop is quite large. So because we're only 2 days in the office, I always should brought it with myself.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like I really remember this time when I can go to the office and have everything settled already. So I shouldn't bring pretty much everything with me every time.
Yeah.
That's other aspect of that, which is probably not so comfortable anymore.
Yeah, I spent a couple of grand on building the best work from home setup that mankind has ever seen, because it's you know, it's where I spend most of the time now. What about people that say working from home makes you less productive? What do you think about that claim?
I don't think so. During this pandemic, I've changed the company. So half of this pandemic, I worked for one company, and after that, moved to three.
Yeah.
And in both companies, I think evidence was quite opposite. So people became more productive from home. I don't know how it works, but that's the situation. So people organize it very quick in terms of how to do everything remotely. Even some social events started to happen over Zoom, like, for example, some coffees together. Uh, in my personal opinion, only one thing which you cannot do effectively over Zoom is brainstorming
Yeah.
sessions. So that situation when everybody in the same room, drawing randomly on a whiteboard, that thing still better to do in person.
The closest I've ever seen to that getting replicated was a company that I work with who do a lot of their meetings in virtual reality. And they had a meeting room they all went into, and they were drawing on whiteboards. Not quite the same, but it's the closest possible, I suppose. Yeah.
Crazy, yeah.
Strange times. The next article that's kind of in the news at the moment is all about Apple. They're in the headlines again. So Apple might remove the headphone jack from its next entry-level iPad. There's a looks like a leak CAD render, shows off the design change, which doesn't have the jack to plug in old-fashioned wired headphones anymore. Feels weird saying old-fashioned, but I suppose with wireless headphones that they very quickly have done. So Apple has gradually removed the headphone jack from its entire iPhone lineup and several iPads already, like the iPad Pro, iPad Air, and iPad Mini. And now the company seems poised to eliminate it from the iPad altogether. I mean, it seems pretty obvious it's going to happen eventually, right? Self-evident. But according to purported renders of an upcoming redesign of the entry-level model, the 3.5mm connector is about to be a goner there as well. It's nowhere to be found on either the top or the bottom of the device, which I think for a lot of people, they're a little bit annoyed because this is the entry-level model. This is not the, you know, this is the one that you want to get if you want to save money. Not you don't want to have to buy headphones to then listen to music in private or videos or whatever. But it's forced tech adoption. It's forcing people to innovate their purchases essentially. But what is that good? Is that bad? What do you think about that?
I don't know, actually. I think Apple done that a couple of times. They changed something in their devices, and after that, everybody else started to adopt the same thing. So they have a lot of power on the market to do some changes. So and expect that everybody else will follow them. I don't know.
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because it's good from the perspective that it gets more people using more cutting edge technologies, but it's bad because it's just annoying. It's like, you know, oh, I have to buy this now, you know, the whole Apple ecosystem and all tech companies are trying to copy it. It's buy one product and then suddenly you need to get the next one and then the next one, then you're locked into their echo chamber.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I don't know if somebody has very expensive headsets with very good noise cancellation, but they need to be checked inside your device what they're supposed to do. Maybe somebody will start to produce some transformers, like from
Yeah, yeah.
like if it will be market for that, maybe even Apple will start to do it.
You've got the AirPods on now, right? So,
Yeah.
what other Apple products do you have?
Well, I like iPods very much. The problem is that sometimes I need to use it longer than they have possibility to work, and I need to recharge them. And if it will be no possibility to do anything else, that will be I don't know how I'm going to avoid the situation. I do not use iPhone, I use Android. So from this
Oh, really?
perspective, I'm a bit safer. Yeah, I like Android more and I just use, and I like iPods as well. So it's like
How
combination of two companies.
how is it connecting the AirPods to the Android device? Is it
Absolutely
seamless?
smoothly, no
Yeah.
problem at all.
That's cool. That's cool. I remember a couple of years ago, it was a challenge. You had to a lot
Mm,
well, not a challenge, but a lot harder than it is doing it with an iPhone. But I suppose the borders are blurring a little bit
yeah.
between different operating systems and that sort of thing.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting one. Forced adoption. I suppose it starts with a headphone jack, but then it can get a little bit more. If Apple Pay becomes the go-to operating model for purchasing, do you have ATM machines that only allow Apple Pay or Android Pay? I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
It could be a slippery slope.
Yeah, but I think we will miss this spaghetti like wires which we used to have before, like
Yeah, yeah.
untangle it every time.
Spaghetti wires. I had them on the old like a dial-up phone, where you have the ring. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool. Okay, cool. The last sort of news I wanted to discuss today is all about Amazon, one of the other big tech players. So Amazon says its carbon footprint saw a huge rise last year. The company's CO2 output rises despite their net zero commitments. Amazon has revealed its carbon footprint rose 18% last year, hitting around 71.54 million metric tons of CO2. I have no idea if that's a big number or a small number, but it sounds like a big number. It's got the word million in there. For reference, this is roughly equivalent to the numbers produced by countries such as Austria and Bangladesh, and is a good bit more than the 47.5 million metric tons produced by the US government. So Amazon produced more than the US government. Is that what it's saying? That's insane if that's true. So according to the company's latest sustainability report, Apple's 21 numbers also represent a pretty mammoth increase compared to its pre-pandemic output of 40% since 2019, where carbon emissions sat at 51.17 million tons. But before the pandemic pushed the e-commerce industry to new heights, which I suppose makes sense. During COVID, a lot of people are getting a lot more deliveries and that sort of thing. But the thing to keep in mind is it's not just the deliveries that are causing the the Amazon CO2. It's a whole host of cloud servers of AWS and all the other businesses. I'm sure they own hundreds. But what are your thoughts on this? Pretty scary stuff, but I don't know how we can fix it. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, very scary stuff. Looking around on these heat waves in UK and on all this, like for example, I'm living in Woolwich and we have 5 times this year some flooding, not very much, but still I didn't see it before. So yes, it's very scary. And we're talking about Amazon now, but if you look at cryptocurrency,
Oh, yeah.
how they affect environment, that will be like another Austria. That's awful, and that's more and more popular. And I believe for cryptocurrency, a lot of projects done just to have possibility to say they use cryptocurrency, not they really need it.
Yeah.
So it's really scary. We should think about that if you want to survive.
I know. I was actually just having this conversation in the last podcast episode with Sanjita, who's the head of development for the Economist, who mentioned about crypto and the energy output that it's using. And obviously, it's insane. On the good side of the coin, it's freedom. It's decentralized. It's not relying on a centralized bank. On the negative side, it's using a ton of power. I mean, that's that's not good for the environment either. And we had the heat wave just a couple of weeks ago, didn't we? That global warming probably played a big impact on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know how to regulate it and still keep it free market, right? But really, maybe that number should be visible, like not only cost of coin in terms of relative cost to other currencies, but maybe also how much does it cost to mine this coin, so people at least pay attention to that.
I don't know if it's possible to create a coin which has a very low energy output. I'm not a blockchain expert, but it would be a big innovation in that world if it happened, right? But the thing about crypto is it seems and blockchain in general is it seems, in my opinion, that Bitcoin, Ethereum, they're not the end products. They're the start of something bigger to come, and it's it's like having dial up before the internet or Web 2 before Web 3. It's all stepping stones to innovation. I suppose on the carbon side with Amazon, all I can hope is that the urgency which is happening, starting to become more of a feeling, will cause that innovation. Whatever they need to do, whether that's swapping to an entire global fleet of electric cars, or drone deliveries. We were talking about that on the podcast the other day as well. There's a company in North Carolina which has just started doing drone deliveries to 100,000 people with 20 different restaurants. So you can order your food and the drone will deliver it, drop it down on a string, and now they're operating with 100,000 people in North Carolina just as a trial, but it's all been approved by the government and it's going really, really well apparently. So I'm sure there are solutions to this problem, right? But it's probably going to take time for it to become a reality.
Yeah, the question is, do we have this time or not?
I don't know.
Where we are in this moment.
Yeah, yes, crazy times. Well, thank you so much, Olga, for coming on. It was good to get your perspective on a couple of the hot topics of the week, really. Obviously, if people got further questions, I'm sure they'll reach out to you on LinkedIn and that sort of thing. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Please make sure you subscribe on Spotify for future episodes, and thanks for your time. Thanks, Olga.
Bye.
Imagine if you were able to hire the next Elon Musk. Or if you got a job at Facebook, back when it was just a startup. Well, these people and these opportunities, they are still out there, and we have access to them. Access to all of them. At Alpha Technology, we specialize in software development recruitment across London and the UK. From React to Java to C# and more. We represent the best front-end, back-end, and full-stack engineers on the market. This includes top developers from Meta, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Google, and more. Our clients operate across AI, blockchain, VR, AR, fintech, edtech, health tech, and more. From startups to global enterprises and everything in between. But Alpha isn't just a recruitment agency. We are also a tech community. We host podcasts, run meetup events, and lead ED&I initiatives, supporting women in technology, BAME individuals, and the Tech for Good ecosystem. So, if you're a company looking to hire software engineers, or if you're a developer open to new opportunities yourself, then we are here to help. Alpha Technology. Recruiting for the future.